Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sassery, and again, to my left,
Rob Mendiola.
Hey, Rob.
What's up, Doug?
Well, when you sit to the left, that means there's no guest to the right.
There's no guest.
That's right. Well, you're to the right.
There's no
but we have a
guest, and I don't have to be on the right.
That's right.
So it's all right.
You left it. What? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So what's up, man? What you been up to?
Well, did our second video podcast yesterday. The one.
Second.
That's right. I haven't released the other one yet.
Yeah, what was your first one?
In fact, we just was Secret of Boris.
Okay.
They were over and we were sitting in the kitchen. And,
Okay.
Just a little bowl. They're a shorter version. They're available on YouTube only. They're a shorter version of what we do here. It's usually going to be just me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Usually will.
yeah, usually will, because Rob says that way he didn't have to do it. And then
You don't trap me into editing videos.
yeah, so this is it's just like it'll be like a short version. Like a lot of podcasts have a short. Well, we're gonna do like a short one, but we'll do it on YouTube instead. Give us a little exposure there. It'll give us chances to go and talk to people that we've already interviewed and maybe do a little catch back up on. Sometimes we'll do that on here, but it'll give us a chance to do a quick one on video, as well as like a lot of times where we're talking to local acts. It's shorter content, and that's a good way to get that out.
You just show people how pretty you are, man.
Well, I don't know about that. That's
Branching out and
I got rid of all that Botox. When
Yeah.
I dropped all that weight, all that
Yeah.
swelling left.
you didn't need it.
But we talked to Garbage Girlfriend this past week, and
Houston local.
Houston local, and these are kids. These are. Rob was shocked to learn that the singer is a freshman
Yeah, high school.
in the high school freshman. They have a high school senior and juniors, but they also have a.
I mean, she presents, as older. She kind of has it together.
Yeah,
She performs very well.
those kids are good, man.
For a freshman, that blows my mind.
Now the pianist and the she's also a background singer. She is very shy.
Yeah.
So during the interview or before or after, I would say, "Hey, that's enough out of you." She.
But young people today, they're a little bit different because they've grown up with the social media, so they've kind of seen how to get out there and make a presence and stuff.
Yeah, look at little Michael Duke. What's his name?
Yeah, the little guitarist dude, singer. Yeah,
That guy has no shyness in his game.
Yeah.
He must be about 9?
but kind of
10?
They grew up watching people on YouTube kind of doing this thing.
Yeah.
So it's a good example for them to learn from. Most of the time, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Probably not all of them are great examples.
now
But,
his brother is shyer than he is.
oh yeah.
But I don't know, man. It just takes in some kids, and hell,
Yeah.
I was never that forward.
Yeah.
My parents.
But you see it a lot more now with the younger generation.
God, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I think interaction is really a good thing. I mean, I don't know where you go for. I don't know where the line is. Your mom, dad was like, shake so and so's hand, and sometimes it was kind of uncomfortable. I try.
Yeah.
I never want a kid to do that if they don't want to, because
Yeah.
I think I don't like. I'm not good with that.
Yeah.
But our generation, we definitely were told to do that.
Kind of trust everyone.
Yeah. Plus, we also took sips out of beers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
Like you just pushing me out, and
Yeah.
you never did it. Okay.
I didn't. I never liked beer. I couldn't stand the smell.
Well, I like the
Beer,
smell.
smoke
but-
either. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink, and I don't drink.
Luckily, I didn't care for the smell of it or any of it, so
Yeah.
saved myself.
Well, when I quit drinking, I've had since August of 1990, I've probably had the equivalent of a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah. Even like wine, I can't even
I like the
I
smell.
don't
of
like
it.
the smell of it. It's
I
just,
like the smell, but I probably maybe had 2 glasses.
especially if you smell alcohol,
Since
I
then.
can't do it.
And I've had, I maybe had a second glass of champagne, maybe 1 or 2. I was only going to sip with my friends a few years ago, and at New Year's Eve, and then I ended up, getting engaged and married after that because I got it poured down my throat.
See
basically.
what happens.
But yeah, so I'm not a drinker, man.
I'm not either. I tried to be. I really tried to be, and just didn't work out for me.
Well, I could have a couple, then I have a little buzz. That was nice. Took the edge off. But
Yeah, I feel that.
When I quit smoking in 1990, because, I smoked cigarettes and then until I was about 24, a teen till I was about 24. And I only quit because we went out all night to New Orleans to pick somebody up, came back to Lafayette, showed up 15 minutes before we were supposed to go canoeing. One of these canoeing trips, everybody's been on them, that you get dropped off and then 4 hours later they pick you up, downstream. And out in the heat and sun all day. And all I had bought in me was those 4 beer. Well, that was a bad decision, Coach. Because, we got done, got picked up, got in the car, drove to some little hamburger joint on the side of the road. It kind of has you order from the window outside, or you can go inside if you want to. I went inside and they hit that cold air. And next thing I remember, I was flip-flopping like a fish out of water on a ER table saying, oh, yeah, we got another one apparently that, heat stroke, heat exhaustion. And I was so burnt that even my lungs were overheated, were burnt. And I tried to smoke cigarettes after, but it was like it was cutting off my breath.
Yeah, because all that caffeine and alcohol just dehydrates you out.
Yeah. Bad. I mean, all the bad choices had playing against me.
And pile it on.
So, when I quit, I had to quit smoking then. And then when I quit smoking, I was like, well, if I went to a club or something, I'd have a long neck in one hand and a cigarette. Well, if I can't have the long neck, well, I'm going to want it. If I had the long neck, I'm going to want the other one in the other hand. I'm like, well, I'll just quit them both. Yeah. So that's why I basically.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Never do. Plus, raising kids and every other responsibility.
I mean, drinking can be fun, I guess, especially if you're, drinking responsibly.
Yeah.
It can be good.
But I guess I never get put in a position. I'm usually the one that has to drive.
Yeah.
My friends, I tell them, if you ever get caught in a position, you need somebody to come pick you up, tell me, I'll come get
exactly.
you. I don't care what hour.
It's not worth driving.
It is not. And I'm sure most of us did a lot of stupid stuff at least once. And man, you're lucky you didn't kill somebody. Cause
it's pretty much, I think it's just luck. Yeah.
Because I've lost friends. I mean,
or luck you don't get stopped,
Everybody's lost friends.
Yeah.
And it's rare when the drunk actually dies. It's usually the other people in the other vehicle.
Well, nowadays there's just no excuse, right? You have Uber and Lyft and whatnot. You can.
Yeah, and don't do it in my county, because if you do it in my county, they will find you. They have a detector apparently.
Now you can just, ride share home and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
no excuse to do it.
There's no excuse whatsoever.
Especially if you know beforehand, like, I'm going out drinking. It's like just take an Uber.
If you can make that plan, then you can make.
You can make a plan to get.
Yeah, you can make a plan to get home safe.
Get a ride. Yeah,
and it's not you just getting safe. Like I said, it's other people that.
Exactly.
My kid, or somebody else that's on the road. That's what I'm always thinking of. Don't get hit by a drunk driver. Because my dad sold insurance, and it was always defensive driving. So, and it's true.
Yeah,
it's it's like I tell my kids, it doesn't matter if you stop at the stop sign and you have to still another person know, you have to watch out, because it doesn't matter if you're right, if you're dead, who cares, So, just whoever's left will have to deal with it. But you don't want to do that. So just always be smart. Never drink and drive. That's just a really bad choice. Don't get high and drive. It's the same impairment, basically.
I'm pretty impressed with like all the venues we go to. You really rarely see anybody like really out of control drunk, No. I really haven't seen that in a long time.
It's been a long time. In fact, I want to say the last time I saw it,
I'm almost wondering, like, why is that, you think?
I think they've gotten smarter. I think maybe, so. And a lot of times I'll see people that in a group that
I think a long time ago you used to see it more often,
Yeah, somebody's usually driving. There's somebody who's not somebody, the husband, wife, the friend. There's somebody there that's usually driving.
Maybe it's just our age group, that we're kind of around more.
The worst thing is going to a concert. It was like it was in Biloxi at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum. Been to a couple shows there. And it was Avenged Sevenfold, and then Breaking Benjamin, and I can't remember that. Bullet for My Valentine. I think they were both playing. And Bullet for My Valentine was opening, and I'm not kidding. Within 20 minutes of that show, they were already bringing somebody out from the crowd that had. I'm like, oh my God, dude, you didn't even get here and enjoy the show, and you already have to go home. What plan did you have? When you did this?
Yeah, they didn't pace themselves.
No,
Obviously.
no, and
That's a shame, though. You miss out on everything
no, and
because you can't control your
well,
intake.
That's how I found out
Yeah.
that when I was a young person that for those about the rock tour, AC/DC in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at the Centroplex, that's where I learned that marijuana just really wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think actually I have no problem with marijuana. I think personally, I think it's just like liquor. It's probably it's even better except for the smoke stuff going in your lungs.
Yeah.
But the CBD, I mean the gummies, I think it's actually a good idea. Compared to taking a medicine like I have to take, you know, and for anxiety or something that take over, I think natural is a lot better. But back in that day, no telling what we were getting, and I remember being paranoid, having to walk out of that show. Now I went in the hallway and then came back out again, but I learned, that's when I learned that no, this really isn't for me either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
Yeah, you learn stuff as kids. So
Yeah.
just growing up, your parents put you out there and they do the best they can. I can't blame that on them. But some lessons you go out and you learn on your own, and hopefully they don't cost you. So
yeah, and like you were videoing with the garbage girlfriends yesterday. That's kind of like one of the things you kind of hope they don't get caught up in some of the stuff that you see in the clubs.
No, and we had a long talk, and I usually never call anybody out in particular. I tell them a couple stories, just generalities, and how important it is, just to stay even keeled and
don't be influenced by that kind of thing.
No, because
it's easy to do though,
Oh yeah, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. But sometimes when you're going through that, it'll be a sprint. It seems things are going really fast.
Yeah.
But just one thing I thought about after the fact that I would have told him is, I think everything we talk about that, you would just tell him in one word, to me at least, never lose your integrity.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot of things, but if you do them, if somebody wants you to go this way or go that way, if you keep your integrity as who you are as a human being, I think you'll be in good shape. Because with your integrity, you may not have to answer to this person, that person, but you have to answer to yourself. At least I know the way I was raised.
Yeah,
it's a really big thing. It's my foundation.
Yeah, and I like that they have their parents kind of right there.
Yeah,
kind of guiding them.
I do too.
So that's real important.
There have been a few bands, and like I said, the young ones that we know in Houston that
they've had good parents right there.
Yeah, and it's been good. It's been good for all.
It's kind of unusual though. You don't really see that a lot.
Yeah.
So when you see it, it's kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because
watching out for them.
The 307 kids just got back from Atlanta, and they were with. I'm trying to remember who was the name. Who was the name of the? Who they were recording with? Collective Soul. Those guys were. They were working with them in Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's pretty huge.
Yeah, that's nice. And Malcolm Springer's coming to Houston this week, and he's working with Lucid Illusions. So
cool.
Yeah, it's good to see these kids getting out there, getting their feet wet a little bit.
Those are our local kind of heroes right now.
Yeah, and we do
307, Lucid, Garbage Girlfriend's kind of big right now.
Yeah, and you see, we have bands that have been around long, but these are fresh, like the
new up and coming.
I would tear if you tear them. The Garbage Girlfriend kids are all in high school,
playing somewhere every weekend.
Yeah,
got the energy for it.
307 just got out of high school, the youngest one, and they can't be. Kellen and them can be older than 22, maybe.
I don't think they're that old yet.
And then the Lucid Illusion kids,
they're a little
27.
Bit older. Yeah,
so
a little bit.
In fact, I had to talk about 27 yesterday again with Jordan and freaked him out. But
Jordan's about to have a child.
Yeah, he's getting ready to be a dad.
Yeah, so, time will fly. That's for sure.
Yeah, so them seeing them at that age, and they're really, Garbage Girlfriend is just starting to get their wheels together. But the Lucid kids and the 307 kids are really, really good.
Yeah, some good footing.
Yes. Yeah. And And when they work together like that when they're young, it's really fun to see.
And it's cool because 307 is like kind of, multi-state now, and that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's good.
But good parents, good support.
Yeah,
because that takes a lot of time, a lot of support.
And that's another thing too is
finances.
We're talking to the Garbage Girlfriend. Just introducing them to people like and that way you meet other bands. Like when we have friends that tour through it a lot of times, I'll have them come through and maybe have one or two bands come in and say hi. Because that way they can always maybe get on a show later on, give them a little bit of experience, and sometimes they'll get taken out, on some of these deals. So, I know 307 have been talking about running out and doing some stuff with Scotty, because they talked to Courtney, and that'd be great. And, but yeah, that's how you have to do it,
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
who you know.
Yeah, it's so funny though, because comparing I remember the grocery business and way back in the day going to back doors and bzz, you have to buzz and they counted everything, and it's a lot more streamlined and barcoded now. But just having to wait on them, and even if somebody was a complete ass, hey, you're going to run into those sometimes. And it's no different in the music business because I was talking to somebody up in Nashville that was in between tours, and he's working with a band up there, and he's working with a band out of Mexico, and but he was getting ready to get on with them, and he was at a show he was at a Five Finger Death Punch show actually, and he was telling me about experience he had recently on tour. He said it was one place he had stopped by, and just everybody there, the sound, everybody kind of asshole, And it kind of surprised me about that venue in particular, but it's going to happen, And I asked about and we mentioned when he said that, I mentioned a couple of other venues I know that are well known, and I kind of had a feeling that they've been around for a while and they have a big name, and apparently they use that name too. They self-importance, So that's weird. But you can go to a place like Machine Shop, and Kevin and his whole crew it's the nicest damn experience from start to finish there, man. I'm really impressed, at that venue in particular, But they got the point of that runaround was that you're going to run into those people in your life, so you just better be prepared to do it, and just stay even keel, keep your integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not being wasted at places is a good way to keep your integrity.
Yeah, don't do that because, we talked about this before. These kids are great artists, but guess what? If you screw up, there's somebody else they'll take you instead of you. That's also a damn good artist, because there's a ton of people trying to. I don't even know how they hit this stage. Just somebody walks in the club and they see you, word of mouth.
Yeah.
And some of these things are done through introductions, because that's how I know Lucid has made some of their connections, and 307 did the same thing, So it's just meeting people. It's no different than what I'm trying to do with my music influencer thing. It's just getting to be around people a little bit, and it's no different than selling groceries. You shake a hand, and
the more people you're around, the more people you're going to meet, and
that's right.
You're going to know. It just naturally happens.
Networking. Yeah. It's in every phase of life. You just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes less intentional and just more organic as you're out there, And
that's kind of what bugs me a little bit about the kids today. And look, my kids, I see how they interact and how the three of them, they're all different. And other friends' kids, and sometimes they go to college, and sometimes they take stuff online only. I'm like, man, you need to get some interaction because being able to talk to people is a big deal, and it's getting them to know you a little bit and understand what you're about. If you say something, the reason why.
And that's how you build reputation.
Yeah, the reason why I was successful in Texas is because the company, the main grocers I was working with, other people apparently would fall off And then they said, well, why don't we get that Sastre guy to do it? Because he's always here when we do the grand openings or whatever. And that's how that started, you know. And it's just because, again, show your face, stick your hand out, talk. It's like when I tour around the country and do this, just to shake a ton of hands and just come say, hey. Because most of the time,
that's why you're trying to bring me COVID.
Yeah, every time I go out and say, hey, I got a new strain this week. Here you go.
Can you get me some COVID?
Yeah, here you go, buddy. Yeah, hugging up sweaty musicians. Yeah. Take my zinc.
Bastards.
But it's shaking hands. It's important, man. Like I said, my grandfather taught me that long ago. Anybody could, pick up a phone and ask for something, but go and put face in face, hand in hand, and
And now people are going to see more of your face because you're going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Go for it, man.
Yeah, that's our little step out, but
yeah,
it's a little different. But I think it's a good. I think by doing it at the adding the short.
So when is your first one going to get released? Because you said you have 2 now, but you haven't released the first one.
Well,
so when are we going to see the first one?
As of we talking right here,
Secrets of Boris, but we don't want it to be a secret anymore.
No, but
we want it to be out.
It's a follow up because we've talked to Cameron this thing before.
Have.
But actually, as we were speaking here, if you go to YouTube, you will find on the Nonsense Chronicles on YouTube, you will find that first video is up. It's Garbage Girlfriend because we're promoting.
Okay, so you put that one before Secrets of Boris.
I did because they're promoting a show this weekend, and they're also doing that show in October, the suicide prevention show too.
Right.
So,
with Steven Hansen.
Yes, I think I talked to Steven this weekend about picking up those drums.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, so
yeah, you're donating the drum kit for that. That's very cool. Very cool.
I think my wife will be happy with the extra,
with extra space
in our bedroom
Absolutely,
that my drums occupies. But Rob's gonna direct me and get a
drum machine.
Yeah.
More of a drum pad kind of.
But see, I call it a kit.
They have kits. They have kits that are in them, but
it comes in a box. I mean, it looks like
it looks like a kit though.
But it looks like a briefcase.
It's a drum machine basically, but they're
Right.
pads. You know?
We saw the video of.
It's like a drum pad machine.
Well, we saw Jason Bonham.
Oh yeah.
Playing, yeah.
That one right there.
I know.
The one I have.
I was highly impressed by that thing when I saw that video. I was like, oh.
Yeah, same. That's why I got that one. Yeah.
I know.
But I'm going to get the same one.
Yeah.
Then I'll just be able to play just like him.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened yet, but.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how everyone thinks, right?
That's right.
I'm going to buy that exact one and
be just like
I'm going to sound just like him.
Doom.
Yeah. It doesn't happen that way. You still have to know how to play drums.
No.
And I do not really know how to play drums. Surprisingly.
Well, people ask me, say, you play this well? I said I toy with all of them, but I'm a master.
I mean, I can get by with it.
I'm a master. I can. Yeah. Hey, I can palm mute with the best of them on guitar.
Yeah, I try not to palm mute anything.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
But no, that's fun, man. But no, that's about the basics going on right now.
Well, very cool. Well, I'm going to go watch your new video.
That's good.
I'll put my headphones on and have at it.
Okay.
And Garbage Girlfriend is playing this weekend in
Huntsville, Texas, at 12th Street.
At 12th Street. Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah.
I haven't played there in quite a while.
And 307's playing there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out with the old, in with the new, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. All the young guns are playing there now. Yeah, it's a cool place. Huntsville.
Bring it on.
You got good parking. It's a comfortable place to be at.
They've done a good job with their downtown in Huntsville.
Yeah.
Like Conroe did a really good job with theirs, man. I'm impressed with some of these.
Some venues the parking's just horrible.
I know.
You know, there's places downtown I won't go to just because of the parking, you know.
Well, I mean, we know one place in particular that,
Yeah.
the parking is terrible there. Yeah, you get towed if you don't, you're not careful there.
Yep.
Because there's no worse experience to me than getting towed.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
I
go out for a good time and you come out and
that's
your whole night's ruined.
Your whole night, because you're going to be dealing with that issue.
Yeah.
For it to get back, to get processed.
Yeah.
It's like your car goes to jail. That's exactly what it is.
Basically, yeah.
And believe me, they collect $200.
Oh, they're going to collect on it. It's probably more than that.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah. There's no go until you pay.
No.
You get to be the little monopoly man behind the bars.
Yeah.
And they don't take that little card that says get out of free.
No. Yeah, if I go anywhere downtown, I have to valet or park in my garage at work and Uber wherever I'm going. So it's a hassle.
Yeah. Well, hey, I guess that pretty much wraps up all the BS we got this time.
So,
yeah.
So make sure you go watch the YouTube on the Nonsense Chronicles.
That's right. And spend your time, go out and, also
hit a venue.
You hit a venue, go see some live music.
Yeah.
Don't just do cover bands, but like I said before,
cover bands.
Go to these originals. See, you're so biased. Go to these originals, and you will see them do a couple covers as well.
Yeah.
But just go out and enjoy some live music. It helps promote the venues. These places are fun. Me and Rob just talked about. There's nobody getting crazy drunk in there. You just
there's not, just it's a good time.
Yeah, you don't see that.
And it's cheap, man.
And it's very cheap entertainment. Yeah, because compare how much the other things cost these days, and that is so cheap to go see local music. And you will be.
I'm always amazed at all the talent here. It's insane.
At 2010, 2011, when I started out and going seeing live music again, I was shocked at the talent.
Yeah.
Like, wow, these guys just played in the garage and whatever, and now they're playing it. Wow, this is amazing.
It always makes you feel like I have to come home and practice.
Yeah,
which is good.
When I hear something I love, I'm like, well, hey, so
it's a good thing.
Yeah, go out and see some live music, and also on our YouTube channel, there's little recipes here and there that you can hit and use. They're all pretty quick.
And don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive, never. Anyhow, that's the Nonsense Chronicles, and we are
out.
Out.